Look, when you study the history of Manipur, Anglo-Manipur war, you have heard only those names, popular names like Khngjinminasi, Khngjinminasi, Somtamia, and some of those leaders, nobles, who have been deported to Andaman Nicobar. And when we study the history of Anglo-Manipur War, we find it about 350 Manipuri warriors sacrificed their lives fighting in different fronts during Anglo-Manipur War. I would like to ask one question. I think no one knows, very few of you know it. After the palace attack by the British forces on 24th March 1891, those 5 British officers were executed in cold blood. In the aftermath of that very incident, after the Anglo-Manipur War, 5 Manipuri leaders were executed, were hanged to death. Who were they? Out of those 5 Manipuri leaders who had been hanged by the British authorities, you may know Khngjinminasi. Besides, we have others. You do not know their name because their names are not mentioned in your books, today's books.
Yeah.
Our Manipuris participated to a great extent, not only in the Anglo-Manipur War, but in the revolt of 1857. A Manipuri prince, born and brought up at Kachar, he participated, fought against the British, tried his level best to expel the British from the soil of Kachar. That no one knows. When I went for my research work to the National Archives, Zanpat Road, New Delhi, West Bengal State Archives, I opened those untouched files. And there was one file where there was a long list of rebel leaders of 1857. I attend that very file is very important because all those rebel leaders of 1857, they are mentioned. They are mentioned with their name, place, with remark. I think I have a xerox copy of that report. Well, when I saw that very list, I was anxious. I was very anxious. And I tried to see one after another, thinking that, is there any Manipuri? Is there any person from Northeast India? But except one person from Manipur, a Manipuri prince, born in the port of Kashar, and in his remark column, it is written, he joined the Chicago mutineers with his followers. This is archival record. I was really proud of him. And later on, I tried to collect secondary sources as well as primary sources.
May the President
And
come
with
and share
those
material.
materials, I have completed my thesis for PhD, and that PhD thesis is uploaded by Stuttgart, and you will find that very thesis when you open from Google. So, what I'm going to tell to my students is that in the Anglo-Manipur world, about 350 Manipuri warriors sacrificed their lives. But in your today's history book, very few of them are mentioned. In our national history, you are undergraduate students, you have Mughal history, history of Delhi Sultanate, modern India, national movement, nothing is mentioned about them. This is the weakness of our senior historiographer, I mean those history writers, historians. They should have studied up to that extent, up to the grassroots level, history, up to the macro level, so that those freedom fighters who belong to middle class, lower middle class, should be given a place on the lines of our history books. We are here to identify those unsung heroes. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
We have more than. Therefore, from his childhood, he intended to do something against the British government. He was waiting for a time when he acted against the British. Before the coming of this event of 1857, for his anti-British acts, he was also deported to Dhaka, where he spent about 10 years, and it was his cousin Chandrakirti who requested the then British government to free him. Coming back to Kasa, he did not join any political activity. When in the year 1857, when the revolt first was known as Mutiny, and with the joining of local people, common masses, it became the revolt. My dear students, mutiny means when the sepoys goes against the government, that is mutiny. And once the common masses, common people join the mutiny, it became a revolt. So, 1857 is also known as a revolt because a great number of Indians joined it. When those mutineers from Chittagong reached the region, Kashmir region, they intended to go to Delhi. They wanted to join those Indian sepoys, not Indian sepoys, thinking that British government will be no more in India. They themselves would rule over India. With that great hope, they, along with their family members, marched. But that GT road, that road was already blocked by the British Army. So, they turned their march towards Manipur and the East Kasa, where one very important event at Latu, now in Karimganj district of Assam, at Latu, the Sylhet Light Infantry, British Army, challenged them, tried to check them. And in the ensuing gun battle fight, Major Bing was shot down by those mutineers coming from Chicago. One thing, sir, to make a record, so far our Indian historians, maybe from the Delhi University or maybe from Jawaharlal Nehru University, teachers, in their writings, they always mention that they do not know the real objective, the real intention of the sepoys in the revolt of 1857. They do not understand the real objective of the sepoys. But here in the Battle of Latu, Karimganj district, Assam, you will find one very interesting, heart-moving word, war-time cry. War-time cry when Major Bing was shot down by those mutineers. Major Bing, in order to set the marching mutineers, tried to cross the river near Latu. Seeing him crossing the river, those mutineers fired towards him, and at that very moment, Major Bing was shot down, he was killed. Seeing the death of Major Bing, the commander of that select light infantry, those mutineers, Indian sepoys, who were fighting against the British government, they shouted, sir, please record it, they shouted to their fellow Indian sepoys on the British side, their fellow sepoys on the British side, they made this war cry, "No, we have killed the Sahib. We have killed the Sahib. Come and join us. Why don't you join us? We are all Indian sepoys. Order was given by your commandant. Now we have shot down, we have killed him. Come and join." This wartime cry is a very, very heart-moving. See the feeling of those sepoys. When we study, when we know that very wartime cry, we feel that there was no idea of, no tinge of raciality, no tinge of caste system, nothing about religious segregation. That means we should unite in a fight with this government. This much I would like to say regarding the nature of those mutineers coming from Chicago who have fought in the Battle of Latu against the British sepoys. British Army, after that, they entered Kasa, and they will become a very warm welcome by Sanhasahio and his followers. And under the leadership of Sanhasahio, with the Manipuris living in Kasa, army was reorganized. And another battle Battle of Binakandi was fought in Kasar in order to expel the British forces from the soil of Kasar. And many mutineers died in the Battle of Binakandi, and Sanasi, he himself also got a gunshot injury. After that, he was arrested by the army of Manipur, who was sent by the then king of Manipur, Maharaj Chandrakirti, in order to set those coming mutineers not to enter the boundary of Manipur. But why? Why? Those Manipuri army, even if they arrested Sanasai Yehu, he was not killed. He was treated very nicely. There is a long history, I am not going to that. The then British government, knowing the contribution made by Sanasai Yehu in the revolt of 1857, he was considered as a great leader of the revolt. That was why he was included in that long list of rebel leaders of the revolt of 1857. With this remark, he joined the Chicago mutineers with his followers. This is all about Sanasai Yehu and his role in the Great Revolt of 1857. Now, taking up the Anglo-Manipur War, are you feeling tired?
Yeah.
Are you feeling tired?
Huh?
Now, I'm going to enlighten you how our history neglects those great warriors of Anglo-Manipur War. Here also, our Partian historians neglect, they have committed some mistakes in the writing of Anglo-Manipur War. Some historians consider that, you see, war had already begun on 24 March 1891. And the British declared war, the British government declared war officially only on 31st March 1891. And those historians, local historians, consider that those war heroes should be only those martyrs of Manipur who had sacrificed their lives after the declaration of war by the British government. To me, I feel it would be wrong. We are not doing justice to those martyrs of Manipur who had sacrificed their blood, who had sacrificed their life before the declaration of Anglo-Manipur War by the British government on 31st March 1891. Please listen to me carefully. Those 400 British Army under the leadership, under the guidance of Mr. Clinton, came from Jorhat, reached Manipur. Their target was to arrest Bill Ticket and deport him outside Manipur. Manipuris did not like that. Even then, there were repeated darbars in meetings, conferences, so that their objective is done with the help of the then king, but not materials. That was the main cause. on the early morning of March 24, 1891, the British forces attacked our Kangla in order to arrest Bill President. By that time, inside Kangla, there was more than 1,000 Manipuri soldiers, and on the other side, in that governor's bungalow, there were about 450 British army. I had around 50 sepoys because our political agent had by that time his own guns. So it was a tussle, it was a war, an undeclared war. Fired the first shot by the British without any provocation from the Manipuris. Without any provocation from the Manipuris, the British forces attacked our Kangla. So, it was a tussle, a war, conflict between two groups. One, our Manipuri forces concentrated inside Kangla was more than 1,000, and those British sepoys who were in today's governor's side, they were more than 400. So it was a tussle, it was a conflict, it was a war between these two groups. Can we say that it is a simple ambush? Or can we say that it is a simple skirmish? No, nothing of that sort. In my opinion, it was a war. It was a war. In that very night, more than 100 Manipuris died, were killed. More than 100 Manipuris were killed on that very night. And it was because of the pressure from the common masses of Manipur to retaliate to the British officers. That was the main reason our nobles kept this order to hand over those, I should say, war prisoners to British officers to our Sandima executioner. In that way, those 5 British officers were executed. In my opinion as a historian,